Hi, Kris. Have you given any thought as to what the ice conditions might be like for this tournament? You're gonna be playing in August, and for you guys specifically, you might be playing like the third game out of three over the course of the day. I know both teams play on the same ice, but have you thought about what it might be like?
Um, Maybe. I think first practice we had here, I think it was starting to get a little bit chippy and not as good. And the coach asked us if we wanted to switch over to the other side, and we all said no. That we were probably going to face a tough condition, especially playing at 8 o'clock. So we're trying to get used to it right now, and um, if it's good, it's even better. But we're trying to just practice on not such a good height right now.
Next question, Rob Rossi, go ahead.
Kris, thanks for doing this again. The Penguins have always, or at least for a long time, had a tradition of having French players or coaches or personnel involved in the organization. I'm wondering if you can think back to when you were younger, how having some people in the organization that spoke that language for, your language, that were familiar with your culture, how did that help with your transition to the NHL?
Oh, I mean, it was great. I was not really comfortable with my English, and the fact that we had coaches that spoke French, and my teammates were also French, so it was easier for me to um, kind of understand the culture and how things are run in the NHL. So the transition was, I think, way easier for me to be in a team where there's so many French Canadians.
Next question, Matt Vensel, go ahead.
Hey, Kris. In a short series, special teams could be even more of a difference maker. So I got a 2-point question for you. One, can you just kind of give us an idea of where you think both the power play and the penalty kill are right now? And also, what do you think it'll be easier? Like, who do you think will have the advantage with such little practice time? Will that help out the penalty kill theoretically, or will that help out the power play?
I mean, it's tough to know where they're at right now because we're actually our power play is playing our own PK that we know so well, and same for them. They play against our power play that they know, and there's a lot of guys also that are on the power play that plays on the PK. So, but I think overall, I think we showed this year that we can be really dangerous on the power play, but also we can be really good on the PK and make a big difference, like you said, in a short series like that. But I think we're working hard right now. I think the intensity, the attention to details are there, and we're gonna keep working. And obviously, when we're gonna come into playing games, that's how we're gonna build our confidence and try to get better.
Next question is from Taylor.
Kris, does it feel like there's still some fine tuning to be done in this final scrimmage in the preseason game, or are you just geared up, ready to go?
I mean, I think the intensity is there. There's always details to focus on and try to. There's always we're always trying to improve a couple of things. So right now, I would say to make sure that we obviously we're playing against our own teammates, so trying to focus on playing the right way and maybe finishing our checks, but kind of be careful at the same time because we're gonna need all those guys to be ready to play next week. So I think I would say these details are the one that we have to keep focusing on.
Next one's from Michelle. Go ahead.
Hello, Christopher. I know the NHL put out a bunch of stuff about like what life's going to be like in the bubble, and I know they've worked closely with the PA. So as the player rep, I was just curious for your thoughts on maybe what life is going to be like in the bubble, like what you're kind of expecting from that. And then have you started packing? And if so, what's like top on your list to bring with you?
I mean, what to expect? I don't think we should have expectation. I think we should just walk into there and to work with what we got. And at the end of the day, I'm sure the NHL is going to adjust every day. Also, it's a unique circumstance, and I don't think people can be ready for that. We just can adapt and adjust and just go with the flow. As far as packing, the clothes are packed, obviously, but there's I brought a set of backgammon. That's about it. I just need that.
I was actually going to ask you, Kris, is the card game going to go to another level, you think, with you guys kind of stuck in the hotel for all this time?
I don't know. I mean, probably. But the fact that on the plane can sit together and stuff like that, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if we're going to play cards once we get in the hotel. I mean, probably every time we have a chance, we'll try to get some fresh air.
We have a few more, Kris. Next one is from Mike DeFabo. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Kris, throughout various leagues, there's different protocol when it comes to revealing details about positive COVID tests. For example, Major League Baseball, if the player decides that he wants to come out and let people know that that he's tested positive, he can. As the player rep, what do you remember about those discussions during the collective bargaining, and why did you guys ultimately decide that you wanted to create the policy like you have right now?
I mean, I don't know. It's such a personal choice. There's tons of there's tons of ideas behind it, and obviously we went with the majority. But at the end of the day, we're talking about medical stuff, so I think it's something personal, and that's why the protocol is that way. You know.
3 more. Go ahead, Seth.
Kris, you've seen what a strong number 3 center has meant for this team with guys like Jordan Staal and Nick Bonino. What attributes do you think Jared McCann has that he can fill that role for this team right now?
Well, I mean, he's a guy that works really hard. He has a lot of speed. He can play in every situation, and he's a guy that pays attention to a lot of details out there defensively. So, and we all know how skilled he is, and he can bring tons of an offense. So, I think it's a good line with Pat and well, the two Pats pretty much. So no, he brings so much to the table.
Matt Vensel, go ahead.
Kris, the handshake line at the end of a playoff series is one of the great hockey traditions. Do you think that'll still be able to happen this year? And if not, is there another thing that players can do to kind of show their respect after a series that would compare to that?
I mean, I don't know. You're playing against them the whole game, and like you're sweating off each other. You're screaming at each other. I don't see why an handshake shouldn't be allowed.
Last one, Taylor.
Just how good was it to have Crosby back on the ice today, and what was that reaction when he came on the ice?
Well, everybody started clapping, but no, it's always a good sign and a relief when you see your top player, one of your top player, to step on the ice and participate in the entire practice with us.